Well, hello, everybody. This is Jarrod Alberich, the yard sale artist, welcoming you to the Yard Sale Artist Studios. Hope everybody's doing good on this Tuesday night. Plate special right off the bat. You gotta love that. I will be flying solo this evening because our main man, the mystery Mark Hatherley, is doing dad stuff. One of his lovely little girls is having a birthday tonight. So he and the Duchess are doing some birthday partying. And I'm flying the ship solo. Hello, Craig. Hello, Ronald. Hello, Courtney. Good to see everybody. Tonight I'm just going to be doing a little 9x12 animated Clayface action. Got my layout done here. So just a little bit of simple ink and color tonight. How is everybody doing? What up, poor Mike? Nice to see you. So yeah, not much cooking right now. Hope everyone's having an exciting Tuesday. Kind of quiet at my house. My kids are on fall break. So while the big one went with Mama Bear to, she teaches at university. He went with her to a university today to hang out. The little one stayed home with me. So I've been running ragged with the little one today. Kid is a lot to keep up with, but we had a good time. Courtney Holland with the flu shot today. Good for you. Yeah, I got my flu shot a couple weeks back, and took my boy Jordan to get his flu shot recently. Don't want to get the flu this year, especially. You don't need false alarm flu screwing up your life this year. That's right, Courtney. I see you. I'll tell Jay, don't run me ragged, boy. That kid, he literally asks me like every 30 minutes, can we start doing something fun now? I'm like, what have we been doing? It's never enough. It's never enough. But I know enough to know that these are the fun times. So just enjoy it and soak it up. So I'm just going to throw down a little bit, just a little rough line work using the Sharpie Extreme. Must have been made in the 90s when everything was extreme. Sharpie Extreme. I like these because they are fade resistant, so they'll last longer over time. It's always nice, especially if someone buys a piece, you know, want to have a nice piece for a long time. And all pieces will deteriorate to some point over time, but plus I got a really good deal on these Extremes. They were on sale on Amazon a couple months back, so I bought a whole box of them. You know, the yard sale artist. Chola in the chat. What up? I'm trying to keep up with the chat and do some doodling all tonight. I got no Duchess. I got no Mark. But I still got y'all, and I appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a good time tonight. So what's going on out there? I was gonna say in listener land, but I guess this isn't exactly radio. So Courtney got her flu shot. We're up to speed on that. I need updates from everybody. I need your updates, people. So the nice thing about working with Clayface is it's okay to make some mistakes because he's a giant pile of mud at this point. It's a safe drawing, people. Oh, if you guys haven't been over to Monstrous Mark Hatherley's Instagram page lately, he posted a picture yesterday, I think, of a work in progress on a page from our collaboration coming out sometime in the near future. Shipwrecker. He posted a Shipwrecker page, and oh my, is it nice. So excited for that. All right. Switch to the microns. Start having some fun with these lines. See, the one thing about Sharpies is if you look real close at the edges of their lines, they tend to fuzz out a little. So I like to go with what I call a firmer ink. These Microns put out an ink that doesn't bleed as much, so it firms up the lines real nice. Especially when I get into these little detail spots like the eyes and the teeth. I want to go with the Micron. Doesn't bleed as much. So without my usual co-host here, we still have to have the same questions, though, which always include, what's everybody having for dinner? So drop me a line in the chat. Let me know what's for dinner tonight, y'all. I see someone dropping the thumbs up on this video. I appreciate it. Thank you. Guys, like and, of course, subscribe. Yeah, tonight's will probably be a little shorter since it's just me. I'll just see how long it takes. It might take me the full time to get this guy done. I don't know. I always try to guess, and I always guess wrong. Everybody who's been here before knows that whenever I try to guess the time it's going to take me, I'm always wrong. Always wrong. Oh, Chola went with a pasta dish. I do love pasta. Just don't get a chance to eat it anymore. I did a chicken tonight called crack chicken. It's a chicken in a cream cheese pepper sauce. Oh, it's really good. And here, do all these little funky teeth. Clayface rocks the funky teeth. Soak up that dad wrap, everyone. Soak up the dad wrap. Courtney with the pizza. She on that Ninja Turtles diet. Get in all these tiny little spots around the teeth. And this song's got me wanting to go play some games, man. Who wants to play some old video game? Who wants to take me on a Tecmo Bowl? These lines right here, basically drawing two lines and then having them tapered to a point to give them a little bit of liveliness. Because, you know, right now, as I just kind of sketched it with a pencil line, it would look just like that if you just straight inked it. But you see how the one above it has more personality than the one below it, because it's just a single line. This one I taper, so I kind of draw a second line starting with a wider base, almost like you do a tiger stripe, and then I just fill in the little white spot. It'll give the line a little more personality and pizzazz. So if you guys need book page sketches or know anyone who does, definitely now's the time to jump, because as you've seen, if you've seen my much lauded holiday ad, I mentioned that they do tend to fill up as we get closer to Christmas, and that has begun. I've had a lot of book page requests over the last couple days. So if you need one or you know someone who needs one for the book page sketches, get on board now. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that, if you're kind of tuning in or watching this on a replay, I actually sketch characters from the books on pages of the books. So, you know, people want Darth Vader on a page from the Star Wars novel, or I just picked up a, let's see if I got it laying around here. Just picked this up out of a discard bin, this old tattered copy of Lone Ranger. So I'm looking forward to doing some Lone Ranger stuff on that. I especially like the animated Lone Ranger from the 80s. I don't know if anybody else remembers that, like early 80s. I was pretty small when it came out. But anyway, yep, if anybody needs book page sketches, they're generally about $27, and that includes your free shipping if you're in the U.S. I say generally, some people throw some curveballs at me, and we have to negotiate a little bit of price there, but generally speaking, they're about $27. Make great gifts. Thanks for the positive feedback on my ad, Craig. Yeah, Ron, I finished another Jaws. Like I said in that tweet, Jaws is my most requested one, and that all started maybe only 6-8 months ago. I got my first Jaws request from a fellow podcaster, Shag Matthews from the Fire and Water Podcast Network. And then once I posted that, it just never stopped. It's like every time I post a Jaws, somebody comes in asking for, I got to get one of those. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. So thank you for all those who got it, and thanks for the compliment there, Ron. Cook's Lone Ranger. Oh, you're talking about Darwin Cook's Lone Ranger. That would be cool to draw in here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some Lone Ranger stuff on there. I picked that up, and I don't have it handy. I guess I probably left it out in the living room. But I had a client ask for some baseball players. And I didn't have a baseball book. So actually on my day with Jay today, as we ran around town, had some fun, I stopped by, saw my contact at the library, said, hey, can I get a look at the discount throwaway bin? And she said, sure. And I took a look at it, and I did find a baseball book. So I got a baseball book now that I'll be doing some baseball player work on for a client. Seems like I picked up one more. Oh, yeah, I picked up a Clint Eastwood biography book. So I can draw like a myriad of Clint Eastwood characters on that. I really just want to use myriad in a sentence today. So there's that. Ben Peeler has spoke the truth, ladies and gentlemen. He just came into the chat via Periscope to say, he said, well, I don't have to tell you, I can post it because this is the truth. Redo your book pictures showing the available titles. I really do, because I probably have about 20% more books now than I had when I posted those pictures. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Mr. Peeler. I need to put that on my list of things to do, is update my pictures. But the good news is too is if people need something that they don't see in the pictures, for example, the baseball guy, just hit me up, because it was funny because he was on Instagram. He hit me up and asked me about it. I said, well, I don't really have a book on baseball, but I'm going out with my son today, and we're looking at going by the library. So I'll ask. And I asked, and there we had it. So never be shy about asking, because I might be able to get it. But yeah, I kind of like doing the headshots. Like I just posted over on Twitter right before I went live today, a headshot I did of DeForest Kelley as Dr. McCoy from Star Trek. And I don't know, I just like how those come out. So I'm kind of looking forward to trying the baseball player thing. I mean, baseball players are nice too, because there's plenty of reference, because all the baseball cards that they're on. This Clayface piece is also going to be available for sale if anybody can't live without it, or somebody who's a big Clayface fan. Do me a favor, let them know it's available. I just knew I was going to be riding solo tonight, so I thought, just feel like chilling a little bit. Whenever I feel like chilling a little bit, I always go back to the animated style. And this, again, has a lot to do with my son. Because I was like, son, if you could, because he's probably watching, or he'll watch on replay. I said, if you could pick what Daddy draws tonight, what would you pick? And he, without missing a beat, Clayface. All right. So this one is going to be available if anybody wants it. Oh, that's nice of you to say, Craig. I put that up on the big board. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was happy with that McCoy. First McCoy I'd ever drawn. Well, I guess that's a bit of a lie. I did a McCoy, Kirk, and Spock piece way back when I first started doing. It's like the oldest print I have available in my book is my Star Trek one. But first one where I just focused on McCoy and did that. So thanks for your positive feedback, Craig. That was really nice. I was happy with it. So yeah, Craig, while you're in the chat, as you know, my older son, Jordan, has decreed that Sylvester Stallone is his favorite actor, which I fully support. So the other day we put on, I found Over the Top on DVD. I found it at my Goodwill. Still sealed, never opened. I paid $1 or maybe $2 for it since it was in the still sealed condition. And so Jordan was like, "Oh, we got to put that on." So that was our family movie night the other night. Over the Top. Man, I had not seen that since it was brand new. I rather enjoyed it. What's funny is like everybody like kind of clowns that movie a little bit, or so you think. But then I tweeted it out and it got like a whole lot of love on Twitter. Like nobody had anything bad to say about it. Everybody was like, "Hey, I kind of like this movie and it's underrated and yeah, it's got flaws, but I really like it." And I'm just like, heck yeah. I'm not sure what these flaws are they're talking about, but I just thought it was kind of cool. It's like some movies kind of have that stigma when they come out and it like it seeps into the public consciousness. And then over time, people start to realize, hey, this is actually not bad. Courtney's never heard of Clayface. Who's failing Courtney? Someone's failing Courtney in her life right now. Batman villain, Courtney. Batman villain. He's got a really cool design, as you can see, for the animated series. I mean, he's cool in the comics, too. What's neat about him is he can, like, transform himself into look like lots of different things and, like, other people. Like, he can go in disguise sometimes, take over somebody else's life and stuff like that. Kind of cool. Always liked me some Clayface. Of course, everybody's cool in the animated series, aren't they? Gosh, all the character designs in the animated series are so good. The Bruce Timm character designs. I think ultimately I'd have to say Bruce Timm might be the biggest influence on how I like to draw. Just like him and Darwin Cook, you know, like Craig mentioned earlier, they just do so much with so little, just little lines here and there. Try to strip it down. Just talented folks. Oh, I see you, Joe Thomas, on Facebook, rocking some Clayface. I hope the audio is coming through so Joe Thomas can hear. That's musical genius Joe November stopping by to say hello, listening to some of his very own produced beats. Such a talented guy, and Joe and I have been friends since goodness. We met in 1999. Communications officer school for the United States Air Force. Became buddies and never stopped. In fact, the last time I traveled before the COVID's hit, was to visit musical genius Joe November. There's a fun topic for the chat. Where was the last place you went before the COVID's hit? What was the last trip you took? Let's walk down memory lane. Oh, man, y'all are talking about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot out there in the chat. That's one of the few Stallones I've never seen. I've always wanted to see Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, but I haven't seen it. That's right. Joe said we partied in Biloxi back then, too. Yeah, we had a good time back then. Because Comm Officer School for the Air Force is in Biloxi, Mississippi. That is a fun town for some 22-year-old second lieutenants. Pre-COVID, Chola hit up Berlin. I have been there. I have been to some Berlin back when it was all split up. I've been through Checkpoint Charlie, and I've seen the Soviet gate guards and the East German gate guards and that whole nine. That was an experience. Uh-oh, Craig doesn't remember his last trip. Maybe it was Heroes Con, man. That's the last time I saw you was back in June of 2019. Then I so proudly did a watercolor Stallone for you for Black Friday when Beatty couldn't do it. And I was like, oh, I look forward to giving this to you at the next one. And then wah, wah, wah. You'll still get it though, buddy. It's waiting for you. My mom is actually a huge Stallone fan as well. So when I had the prints made, I sent one to my mother and she was pretty excited. That's right. Let me put Joe on the big board. That's right. It was an awesome visit. We had a good time. We went to see Pee Wee Herman live for the Pee Wee's Big Adventure 35th anniversary tour. And that was fun. Yeah, Paul Rubens himself came out as we got to watch the movie at a nice theater downtown, and then Paul Rubens himself came out and talked to the audience for a couple of hours and told stories about the production and all kinds of stuff. And man, it was an entertaining night. And plus, I'm hanging out with my boy Joe November. Can't go wrong. So for these lines down in the bottom, sort of in the puddle area of Clayface, I'm really just, I'm once again riding the micron pen down it, to firm up the borders of it. But like, I'm doing it real loose. Like, I don't really care if I come off the line or not, because I want it to have different levels of thin and thick down here. I want it to be just a little bit thicker here, a little bit thinner there, because it's a mud puddle. It's supposed to have a little bit of unevenness to it. At least that's how I approach it. So if I'm down in this area and I'm firming up lines, and I'm also tapering them, so when they come in here, I'm bringing them to a sharper point, because that won't put the sharpest point when you pull it off the paper, but a smaller nub will. So I'm just kind of sharpening the points, letting the pen movement dictate what's going to be thicker and thinner, because it's the clay mud puddle area. So As long as it's got a nice little taper on it, I'm happy. You know, there's spots right here where I didn't connect the lines. I'll fix that. I'll connect them here with the, as I'm going through like I'm doing right now. I'm going to connect these two. Smooth out the edge a little bit. Somehow I knew Joe was going to throw this one. I hope you find your bike, man. That's a joke that'll pretty much only be funny to people who go see Paul Rubens' 35th anniversary Pee Wee show. I imagine we probably caught one of the last showings of that because COVID smacked big right after that. Like I was visiting Joe and we went and saw that. We even kind of were like questioning, like, is this still going to go on? And it did. And then I flew home probably, I don't know, 2 days later. And after that, it just, COVID kind of exploded. Yeah, that was right there in March. So if Joe November's still in the chat, you working on any new beats, my friend? Huh? You want to tantalize the audience with what we might be hearing next? Right now, looking at the playlist, the latest one on the SoundCloud is the Hell Below track. Joe put together a real cool track for my James Bond video game documentary I'm doing over on Her Majesty's Secret podcast. He put together a fresh James Bond track, you know, to make it sound like it's from a video game. And oh my gosh, is it good? Yeah, you got to post that one, Joe. Got to get Joe to put that one on his SoundCloud page. That was dope, man. So yeah, I got volume 2 of that documentary coming out soon. Hardest part about it is I interview people who have played all these James Bond video games in all these different countries, and just compiling and editing all the interviews is the hardest part, but it's so much fun. I mean, I've talked to people from, of course, here in the States and people in England, and I just talked to, edited up an interview I did with a guy in Colombia, and I did another one with a guy in Argentina. It's just so cool to hear these shared experiences from people around the world. Yeah, if you're into James Bond and or video games, I encourage you to check out the podcast on Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, or you can just go to www.secretpodcast.podbean.com. I released volume 1, I guess a couple months back. If you scroll back, you'll see it. And volume 2 will be coming out soon. There's 4 volumes in total. I have all the interviews done for volume 2. I just got to splice it all together and add the effects now. Let's see. We did hear from Joe over on the Facebook chat. Said, unfortunately, he's been in a creative rut, but he'll get past it. Well, hang in there, Joe. You got much love here on this channel, man. People love listening to your beats. Every Tuesday night here. We're in your corner, buddy. I know how you feel, though. The life stress comes in when you're trying to be creative, and it can make it challenging. Almost got this line worked down to where I want it. Some parts that I want to stand out a little more, I'm going to go with a second run of thickness. I want these base parts that are basically facing us directly as the viewer to be a little thicker. It'll add some dimension to it. I have a little tiny little gnat who's flying around in here, desperately wants to be part of the live stream. There we go. Gives it a little bit heavier of a base, especially as it's coming closer. And then I want to just thicken up the arm, since the arm is sort of closer to the viewer. I want it to stand out just a little more. So I'm going to give it a thicker line as well. Go. And then this part over here, just a little bit thicker as well. I'm going to start this line thicker, but I want it to go right down to thin again as it gets towards the top of his head. Go. Put it over on the shoulder. And the back. There we go. There, you see how the thickness kind of pops out. You want the outline. I want it just up to the head. Definitely the stuff up front. Gives it a nice look. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Oh, you know what? Joe just reminded me in the chat as I'm catching up looking at it. He also did a beat for our G.I. Joe podcast. He does the intro and outro music for lots of our podcasts, but the one for G.I. Joe is also C'est Magnifique. If you're interested in G.I. Joe Chronicles, The Devil's Due Years, that's on the Longbox Crusade Network, where, of course, you can find me. Okay, let's grab the old plate. It's plate time, everyone. Get excited. All right, your plate time is fulfilled for this stream. Just a little bit of connecting that line. That one's pretty good already. Okay. Now we go to our friend the eraser. Get rid of just real light touch erasing to get rid of peeking through pencil lines from the original layout sketch. That always reveals things that you, I want to fix this or I want to fix that. Like I never did apparently smooth out this line. You probably can't see it from the camera being so far away, but it's not as smooth as I would like it, and it doesn't have a tapered end like I would like it. There we go. Much better. Now I have to be sure to avoid that area while I'm erasing because I don't want to pick up that little bit of ink that could still be wet. So I'm going to avoid that one for now. Give it a moment to dry. Getting rid of pencil lines. All right, check you later, Joe. What up, Dr. Kaz in the house? Cracking backs, having snacks, and always on the attack. It is Dr. Kaz. Good to see you, Doc. All right, we just about got all those errant pencil lines. There's always a couple that hide from me. I can go back here now. It's dry. I'm sure I'll find them along the way. Let's see. Any other? Yep, there's one right there. And right there. There's always a few that hide. A couple of areas for smoothing. Right there. There we go. Oh, Dr. Kaz says he's looking for a sketch cover. Yeah, tell me more, Dr. Kaz. Oh, this guy's getting colored. You know he is. That's why these guys are here. I got 2 shades of brown. I'm going to use sienna brown for his lighter shade, and then I'm going to darken it with dark brown. I've got some more plans for this piece, let me assure you. Oh, yeah. Mastodon just sounded off in the chat. Welcome, by the way. Said it once watched Mike Grell use one of those erasers to create Wolverine shadow. Yeah, I've seen Mike Grell do the thing where he like he does background. Like he made trees. Like he draws with an eraser. Like he'll put down some pencil smear and then he'll draw with the eraser. It's really very cool. Very, very cool. I know what you're talking about, brother. For all those people who just joined, this hang on, in the tight spot. Okay, this Clayface is going to be up for grabs if anybody needs it. This is I understand if you want to wait till it's done. Oh, later, Craig. Did I miss a question? A question from Craig? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's just that he asked if this was like an entrance to a sewer. No, it's just a background element. I'm going to have some fun playing with it, though, in a little bit. Watch out for that. All right. So let's get in on coloring this guy. Sienna brown is going to be the base. I went ahead and got 3 markers because this is this is going to be a lot of sienna brown. Let's start up. Always a little pencil line. Whenever you think you're done, you find another one. Okay, let's get crack-a-lacking. Let's get the colors down, boys. This is where the piece comes to life. Let's see. Kaz wants to know the price. This is the same as the other bat pieces I've done for you, Kaz, if you're interested. I think we did those at, I want to say they were $45, and that includes shipping. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Kaz. I'm going from memory. Let's say $45, and that includes shipping. If you want to add him to your other ones. I know you've got Batman, and what else do we do? Catwoman, Mr. Freeze. Is that it? Anyway, you know better than me. Anyway, we'll say $45, and that includes shipping. How you feel about that? All right, Kaz, you got it. This is Dr. Kaz's piece. And then everything gets a little more tense because when I'm drawing it just for fun, I'm just flowing. And now I know it's for somebody. So I'm like, oh, don't screw up. In fact, I'm going to use a color called Tuscan Red, which almost looks nothing like red for this inside of his mouth part. It's definitely a rust red, but just different enough to stand out a little bit. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Kaz. You are the man. I hope everything's going well for you. All right, Kaz, I will definitely hit you up in email afterwards, unless you've already taken care of things. I'll find it all out when I get off the stream and check the email, but we'll hook up. This is your piece, brother, and I thank you. The inspiration, like I said, was from my soon-to-be 6-year-old son, Jay. I was like, I got to draw for my stream tonight. What should I draw? He was like, Clayface. Draw Clayface. All right. I don't know if it makes a big difference, but I like to try to follow the contour of the shape. Notice how I don't know if I color in weird patterns or not, but I kind of like to follow the flow of the shape with the color. I honestly don't know if that makes any difference or not. It's just how I do it in my head. Kaz asking questions about full sketch cover, front and back. I've never done the full front and back sketch cover. Let's see. I think last covers I've been letting go around 50, but that's just kind of a plain front and a back. For the Kazmeister, let's say $80. Let me know what you have in mind. I've got a big stack of blanks over here, so I might have what you need. As we move into the bigger space, I'm going to move it to the bigger size of the marker. Start pulling it down and kind of blending it up. It probably won't matter much because there's going to be a lot of dark brown shadowing too. All right, check on your dad, Courtney. Thanks for stopping by, and much love to your pops and you. Guys, stay strong. Say hey to your brother for me. So I got to ask the Dr. Kaz, what's he got in mind for his sketch cover idea? X-Men 92. I have to look and see what old X-Men 92 is about. Interesting, though. Interesting. I certainly had fun doing the Wolverine sketch cover that I did on this channel. What was that, 2 weeks ago? I think that one went to our boy Lloyd up in Canada. But yeah, I'm definitely game, Doc. I'll take a look at it. All right, Doc, we'll definitely talk about X-Men 92. I'll have to take a look. I am a little deficient in the X universe, and I will tell everyone why. I subscribed back in the day to about 60 comics a month. Quite a few. And I like the X-Men. I got nothing against the X-Men. But at some point, you got to draw the line somewhere. Actually, I'm going to let this marker rest a bit and switch to another one. And so I didn't collect any. I collected basically everything but the X universe. And it was a calculated plan because my brother Jason, the Weasel Skull Alberich, also is a big comic book reader, and he collected all the X titles. So while we grew up together, that worked out real well. You know, Jason would buy the X titles, and that's how I'd read them, and I'd buy other stuff. But you know, as you do when you drift apart as you get older. So Jason's still up on X stuff, and I'm just kind of vaguely aware of it. I know of the key moments. Plus, we've been covering Uncanny X-Men on our podcast, Crusader Chronicles, on the podcast, Longbox Crusade Podcast Network. So that's how I've been learning about it. We started that with the appearance of the new team, which was like 98 or something like that. And we've been going issue by issue. So I am up on some 1970s, late 70s era X-Men, thanks to that podcast. I've always liked Colossus, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. Have always been my three favorites. All right. Well, I'm kind of excited though for it, Dr. Kaz, because like I said, I've never done a front to back cover, so I'm willing to try something new. Let this marker rest now for a bit. If you can rotate your markers, it's never a bad idea. because they will get what I call tired. They'll just start putting down just a little less. And while on Clayface, that's okay because, you know, it adds to the whole modeling aspect of it. Still looks good on Clayface, but when you really want a good solid color on somebody, if you've got more than one, I definitely recommend, you know, finding those break points and then bringing in a fresh one. Let the marker rest a bit. I don't know. It seems like it makes a difference in my head. I don't know if it does, if it does in real life or not. All right, base color brown is down. Time to grab the dark brown and start adding that shading. I'm going to start right here, going whoop. And here, I'm going to go right up to there. Well, look who's in the chat. It's missing Mark Hatherley. Thanks, Mark. I hope you're having a wonderful day with your little girl. Happy birthday to her. And I hope you and the Duchess are having a great time. We love you. We miss you. We'll catch up with you soon. Oh, I got you, Dr. Kaz, with the two fronts. Yeah, we can talk about it. Sure. I'll take a look at what you're interested in, and you've got the blanks to mail me. We'll work it all out, as we tend to do. I love adding the dark shade. It just see it. You guys can see it coming to life on the screen. At least I can. I love it. Love to add the shade. Mm-hmm. All right, so this one, I want to leave some highlight down here. A swoop effect. And swoop effect. Turn it way out. There we go. Duchess in the chat. Meow, 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 meow. Now, if you guys are bored and you want a link to this, I can send it to you. Something tells me y'all probably need a little wind down after a little bit of birthday celebrating. Okay, so I got to know what's going on with Duchess and Mark there in the chat. What's up with the? You got to answer the standard questions, man. What's for dinner? What was the birthday dinner of choice? I know there's cake involved. Mm-hmm. Just went over to the big side. Meatballs and spaghetti, man. They're living it up large over there in Bermuda tonight. Yeah, meatballs and spaghetti. I want some meatballs and spaghetti. Draw my outline here so I don't mess myself up. My shading. All right, so I'm going to go here to here. And this in and this out. Go. Now I got my bearings. Oh, good. Now Mark's just bragging in the chat about he's stuffed with his spaghetti meatballs. I'm sitting over here just covering the show tonight. Mark's off having cake and meatball. I tell you what. No love for the yard sale artist, man. There we go. That's coming together. I'm going to switch over to my other dark brown marker and give that one a rest for a minute. There we go. Thank you, Mark. Mark said I give John the big board. Mark, the kind words. If you guys haven't got a chance, if you go ahead and hit like on your video player, and if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and do that. I think we got most of our fam in tonight. I think everybody here is subscribed, but if you haven't, here's a reminder to do so. And while we're doing reminders, I'll remind you that you're listening to the smooth sounds of Joe November. Check out his SoundCloud if you get a chance. Head over to SoundCloud, just look up Joe November and Press play. That's all you got to do. Okay, all the shady shade in the bottom part's done. Now to do the top part. The shading up his arm. There we go. I'd say we have productive night since we got Courtney knowing who Clayface is now. Mark's got spaghetti and meatballs. Jared's got a whole batch of nothing. Okay, now as we get to the face area, definitely want to pick my shading carefully. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so we're going to go. Shading always looks good around the eyes. Gives it that nice sort of sunken, especially for a bad guy, sunken and evil look. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's working. That's working. Yep, that's a check Roger right there. You want to dip some poles on each one of these layers of his face. Bigger each time as we move down the chin. Definitely want to get that shade up under the chin area. There we go. Getting awfully close to done here. Well, I got some other plans. I'm going to take this little white marker here and drop it just a dot of white right there in the eyes. Give them a little personality. Now to fill in the background bubble, I've elected this blue. It's going to be quite the journey. Now I wonder, I've got a matching blue with a wider tip. Those are all narrow tips, and it would take quite some time. Let me see. Digging in my marker boxes. Ooh, I like this blue green. I like this wide tip blue green. Let's see if we can make this work. I like it. Just going to follow the contour around. I'm doing this because I really like this color, and I don't think I've ever used this particular marker before, so I think it's got enough life to do the whole background. But as a pragmatic yard sale artist, I start by going around the edges of the character first, because that way if something were to happen and this marker were to quit on me, then I'd at least be able to like bring out another color and it would still look artistically kind of cool. So I'm going to just kind of build upon what I have now out until I get to the circle. And that way, if the marker does quit on me, I can come in with a second color and it'll have a cool flare look to it. It's all about hiding your tracks, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, good, good. Again, by following the contours, even when you get these marker strokes, which every marker does. Well, I don't know. I've never tried the super fancy Copics, so maybe they don't leave as much, but you can use them to your benefit. If you do these like layered lines around like I'm doing, it actually makes a really cool looking effect. What up, Lloyd? Lloyd, you missed Dad Rap like a long time ago, man. What happened? I hope you're going good for you tonight, my friend. It's nice to have you with us as usual. All right, I'm starting to have a good amount of confidence that this marker is going to go all the way. I got some plans for this background effect anyways. Oh, that's right. There's more to come. We are getting there. I see Duchess is trying to start some stuff in there. All right. Let's see here. All right. Which one of you guys stole my toothbrush? I suspect the Duchess stole my toothbrush. Oh, maybe it's over in this box. Says the odd sale artist. Somebody stole my toothbrush. Floyd didn't hear that after the really funny. All right, Charles says, Duchess says it's behind the paintbrushes. All right, no worries, no worries. I'll just go. I got a spare. I'll go grab it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. All right, we back. I don't know what happened to that toothbrush. It'll turn up at the darndest time. The downside is I've been cleaning and organizing my art table, even though you can't tell from the current shot you're seeing. Never clean and organize, you just lose everything. Let's turn up. Okay. So I wanted to have a little bit of splatter fun tonight with this one. So I took the old plate that I did and I did another circle. And then I just cut it out. So I can mask it off basically. And one of these, I always keep these handy. All right, all my markers out of my way. Got my little template over the circle there. That's right. We're moving to plate on plate action here. It's a whole new level. You know what? Just to make life easier on myself, because I know what angle I'm going to shoot it from. It'd be much easier if I flip that over. Everybody flip your computer screens. Yeah, that'll make it easier when I put that down. Just put this down so I don't get mess everywhere, because I'm going to be in that direction. All right, all right. All right, and we shoot. Just a little bit of the black speckle there. Rinsing, rinsing. And then come back over once more. What up, Stashin' Comics? Hey, hey, hey. And we're going to add a little bit of white speckle to it as well. A little black and white. Just give it a little character. Get that off my hands. Drop my boards down here by the fan so that they can dry. All right. Slide that paper off. Now it's got a nice little texture effect to it. Not too shabby. I am having fun tonight, Duchess. You caught me. I like it. I hope the Dr. Kaz likes it. Can't go wrong with a little speckle and spatter from Mr. Clayface. Now I'm just going to come back with my white marker. Highlight the little white spot on his eye. Plural. And give it a little bit highlight. Just a little bit of white streak highlight. Some highlight spots. Just to give it a little pop and hiss. There you go. Just to give it a little flavor. All right. Well, everyone's having fun tonight. Thank you, Lloyd, for your kind words. Dr. Kaz, I hope you're happy with it. Got some Clayface action tonight. Where's my sign-in pen? Hey, look at that. I almost hit it perfectly at the 90 minutes. We're at an hour and 25. Let's see. There's my pen that I like to sign with. There we have it. Thank you, Duchess, for your kind words as well. There we have it. It all came together for Clayface night. I appreciate everybody who's here with us tonight. Thank you so much. I've been Jarrod Alberich, the Yard Sale Artist. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Parler, and of course YouTube. It's all Yard Sale Artist. Give me a follow or a subscription. That would be wonderful. If you like tonight's video, please go ahead and give it the thumbs up. And as usual, if you like the music, we've been listening to the smooth sounds of Joe November. Check out his SoundCloud. Just head over to SoundCloud and look up Joe November. You will find the awesome work he's doing there. And finally, if you want to hear me run my mouth a little bit more about comics and movies and stuff, please check out the Long Box Crusade Podcast Network and the On Her Majesty's Secret Podcast channel. I'll be there doing those things. Thanks, everybody. We will catch you next week, where Mystery Mark should return.